That's not how that works. Hello! How is everybody? How was everybody's Thanksgiving break?
Wow.
Good! Hey! So, yeah, over break. I said it really even fucking on. It is now. So, over break, I substitute taught actually for the very first time in my entire fucking life. They didn't call me, they called my dad, and they're like, hey, can Becky come sub for us in the 2nd grade? And he comes and wakes me up. I'm asleep as fuck. And he's like, Becky, wake up! The 2nd graders need you. And I'm like, oh my God in heaven, okay, I'm on it. So I went, and I wasn't like the teacher actually, I was the aide for like a couple of the kids in there that get special education services. So that was cool. But yeah, so at gym, actually, 2 of these little girls got into a fist fight. Yeah. I had to break that shit up. Fucking Alexis and Feline, you name your child Feline, she's gonna get into fist fights. Like, I don't know what her parents were expecting. So I had to break that shit up. And I take them back to the classroom and I tell the regular classroom teacher when we get there, yeah, Feline and Alexis, you know, they wrote into. And the regular classroom teacher's like, did she hit her? Was there punches thrown? And I was like, well, yeah, 1 punch. She's like, that's an office referral. You gotta take her to the office. And I was like, I didn't know that. So then I had to drag their asses down to the office. So that was a learning experience for me. But yeah, no, subbing was interesting. I got to run into a lot of like my old teachers from my high school. And so I walk in on the very first day, my guidance counselor, she's like in the hallway, and she's guiding. And she's like, Becky, what the fuck are you doing here? She didn't say fuck, but anyway. She's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm subbing, they called me in. She's like, oh my God, you're an adult? And I was like, yeah, I know, weird. Then I ran into my math teacher. I used to babysit her kids, and she's like, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, I'm subbing, you know. She's like, oh my God, I'm so old. I was like, I know. But yeah, I also got to run into my 4th grade teacher. That was really cool. She had retired, actually, when I was in high school. And then she had come back to be the special ed teacher. And so when I get there, the regular classroom teacher in the 2nd grade introduced me to her. She was like, oh, you'll be down in her room today with some of the students. This is the special ed teacher now, Miss Rodnette. And I was like, I know Miss Rodnette. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah, bitch, I went here. Where the fuck were you when like my fans were, you know, applauding me my return? And I was like, Miss Rodnette, you're still alive. How? She was old when I was in 4th grade, and like, now she's elderly. Like, she's up there. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. But my favorite teacher that I ran into, Mrs. Thomas, she actually isn't a teacher. She was the ITV facilitator, which that's when ITV's like when you have a class on the TV, and she was the one that sat there and like babysat us. And so she was an interesting woman when I was in high school. She's very big, very old, has a cane. And she, at one point, she like keeps her hair real short and she spikes it up with gel. And at one point when I was like a junior in high school, she got frosted tips and we're all like, Miss Thomas, that's what you doing. But yeah, she was an interesting character. She used to like tell us all her like personal life. She would tell us like when her husband was like getting on her nerves and she would sleep in the classroom and we're like, oh, I'm sorry. She told us all about her son and his like disabilities. We're like, we're 16, but thank you. Oh, we're too young for this, but thank you. But yeah, she used to do this really splendid thing. She wore mini skirts all the time. Big woman. She fucking teaches children. She wore skirts really short. And she couldn't cross her legs. I don't know why. And she would sit with her legs splayed. And I just saw her panties like 24/7. And we're sitting there in lunch, eating our fucking pizza and shit. And we look over at the teacher's table, and there's Mrs. Thomas's panties staring at us. I'm like, oh, someone call Jesus, get me out of here. I'm done. But yeah, no, so I got to run into her. She's still kicking. She's still got her panties out, so like, that's good. But yeah, no, like, I look at her and I hear her stories of like her arguments with her husband, and I'm like, someone married her? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I can't even get anyone to talk to me on Club Penguin. Like, how in the fuck did this bitch get married? Like, I'm not even fucking joking. Over Thanksgiving break, I made a Club Penguin account. Yes. That's how, thank you, snaps. That's how my Christmas Thanksgiving break went. I was sitting alone and I was so lonely. I was like, let's chat with some 8-year-olds. But then I got to thinking, I was like, are there even any 8-year-olds on here? Or am I just like cruising around this fucking plaza with some like 40-year-old dude who's like, hi? But yeah, no one would talk to me. But that's fine. Anyway, I lost a bobsled raised to like a 12-year-old, so it's okay. But yeah, so I wanted to finish out my set with a real life story from last night about, let me ask you a question. Have you ever gotten so drunk that you woke up the next morning with battle wounds? Has that ever happened? There's a, like, does anybody, raise your hand, like, thank Jesus. I woke up this morning, and I don't know if it's still red or not. There's a fucking line across the bottom of my chin. I don't know if it's still there. It still hurts. So last night, I'm in the car. I'm drunk as fuck. It's 1 a.m. And there's a dude riding his fucking longboard down the road. And I'm like, what's this bitch doing? I'm not driving. Let me blanket statement, I wasn't driving. Someone else was doing that. I was in the passenger seat. I see this fucking longboarder cruising his ass down the bicycle lane. I'm like, that's inappropriate. And so I roll the window down, I stick my head out, and I'm like, sir, it's December! Get off your longboard! But that's not actually what I said, because see, as I had my head out the window, the driver of the car started to roll the window up. So what I said